We'll now move to item 4.2, Board of Governors meeting locations for 2012 in San Diego. Oops. Chancellor, would you like to start this discussion?
Well, I will simply say that one of the possibilities is certainly San Diego. I'd listed that as one of the possibilities for our meeting because we'll be meeting in Southern California. Oh. And here's what I want to do is open it up for discussion by the board. I thought of two college districts in San Diego. One is San Diego Community College District, and the other one is the Grossmont-Cuyamaca College District, and they both are fairly easily accessible by flying into the San Diego area. I also thought of Los Angeles as a possibility. One could look at one of the Los Angeles community colleges, or could look at also Pasadena or Glendale as possibilities in the Los Angeles area. And the other area that I thought of was the Inland Empire. The Ontario airport is fairly easily reached, and I thought of Chaffey College or San Bernardino City College District or Riverside City College. All of those are good colleges. Now, there are a lot of other wonderful community colleges in Southern California, but if we look at transportation, for instance, the Central California area is a beautiful area. It's not always easy to get there. You know, Santa Barbara City College or, for instance, Cuesta College at San Luis Obispo. These are all possibilities. But I lean a little bit, and I'm just throwing this out, and certainly the board can make its own decision, but I lean a little bit towards, since there are so many colleges that are easily accessible to the airport, then I would, I suggested either the Inland Empire or San Diego or Los Angeles. And I chose not to go ahead and look at all of these possibilities because of the fact that I felt like that it was, first I wanted to get a feeling from board, and then I'll be able to report back to you probably with at least 2 or 3 strong recommendations, having checked with the president and having checked with other things. So I open it up for your suggestion.
Member Haley, then Member Davis-Lyman, Member Baca.
I was just curious, at one time there was a list, I think, of colleges around the state that had requested to be considered. And I wondered if that list still was operative. Is it still around? I mean, districts used to just vie very hard to have the Board of Governors come to their campus. I remember Santa Monica College, just because I happen to remember it, was the first college to have had the board meeting there. So they probably won't get around, we won't get around to them for a very long time. But that isn't my question. My question is there still a list? And do we follow it?
Yeah, if there is, I don't know where it is.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I mean, I can't tell you. Somebody, I see that Vice Chancellor Bruckman is shaking his head no, and he's been around longer than I have. So you know, if there's a list that exists, I don't know about it. But anyway,
Thank you.
I have found generally a warm response when I call colleges and ask them would they be interested in hosting the Board of Governors. And the reason you know, I could have begun that calling, but I thought I'd kind of like to get a little direction from the board itself before I make these calls, and I can report back to you the enthusiasm or lack thereof when I check it out with the colleges.
Member Davis-Lyman.
Thank you. Within the last, I think, 5 years, we have been to Riverside, and so we have been there. And there was a list in our agenda
Yes.
at one time
Yes.
of schools where we've been, where we have been,
Oh.
Right.
not, and so that might be helpful too.
Member Baca.
Well, I don't want to introduce a heavy bias, but I will. Mount Sac is not that far from the Ontario airport, so
I
maybe
don't know
we
where
can just
that
throw
is.
that one in for just consideration. How's that?
Okay. Member Malumet?
I like the San Diego area. I did have a chance to go to Grossmont, Cuyamaca, and it is a large school, and they had many things to show me, so I thought that was good. But I've not been to the San Diego district, so I would be tempted for that area.
Well, and like my colleague here, I'll put in a plug. There are 9 community colleges in the area, and you probably have a lot of opportunity to interact with those presidents and board members. Member Price.
Well, I know I've said it before, but College of the Desert, where I'm from, I'd like to throw that one out there.
Okay. Member Baum?
No, I was just going to endorse the idea of looking at San Diego, but I also think Mount Sac is very worth looking at. It is actually by enrollment the largest community college in the state of California.
Okay.
And the San Gabriel Valley, I don't think has been visited by the Board of Governors.
Okay. Member Perez?
I've been told that San Diego's very willing to host us. Also, Los Angeles Community College is very willing to host us as well. I know we've had discussion on this before, but I would like to throw out there again to visit 2 colleges next year, just for discussion. And I would propose doing one in, LA, San Diego area, and then maybe doing one in Mount Sac or in Porterville, or, a remote area on the southern coast, Inland Empire, so.
Yeah, if I could just jump in there, too, that was always a pitch that I felt strongly about. The more we can get out there is better. It's good for the board and also good for the districts, and also to help educate the colleges in the field about the role of the Board of Governors. But also, it really helps inform our policymaking to see firsthand. I know there's a logistical challenge, and there is some budgetary considerations, but if we could find a way to schedule 2 off-site meetings a year at a district, I'd support that.
Member Malumet?
It doesn't fulfill your request completely, but I was thinking, for example, if we were in the San Diego area, we could do our meeting all day Monday and Tuesday morning, and then maybe Tuesday afternoon, ask a nearby college if they would be willing to host at least a tour of the campus for us, so we would get a sense of it. Don't have to have a meeting there. So that might be a thought wherever we meet, since we'll be in the big city areas.
Good thought. Other board member comments? Might I suggest then, Chancellor, as you bring back information from those areas, maybe we have an opportunity to relook at some of the information you brought forward last year on the pros and cons of an additional meeting, as Member Baum suggests, and obviously it depends on where we go, but potential costs involved. Okay. Anything else on that issue? And will we make a decision at the
If you wanna make
the
a
next
decision,
meeting?
I'd be happy to,
Okay.
as I say, present the ideas and do the research also on cost and so forth, and we will look at,
And would you like to us to present options for having 2 meetings a year and in particular months to have those meetings and so on?
Yes. Okay. If there's no further discussion on that,